name's Blake, and I'm a part of the 6th grade band, and it's awesome. Now, you might be thinking, well, I've never done this before, or what if it's too hard? But trust me, it's not. If I can do it, so can you. Not only am I learning a ton about music, I'm having so much fun with my friends too. At first, I wasn't sure what to play, brass, woodwinds, or percussion, and then I saw the trombone, and I knew it was for me.
A band is a group of people playing different instruments to create one great sound. You may start out playing in small groups now, but before you know it, you'll be playing in concert bands, jazz bands, and even marching bands. In band, there are 3 different instrument groupings: brass, woodwind, and percussion. The brass is comprised of the trumpet, the French horn, the trombone, the baritone, and the tuba. The woodwinds are comprised of the flute, the clarinet, and the saxophones. And finally, the percussion, which has both mallets and drums. Right now, just like you, millions of students all across the country are asking themselves the same question: what instrument should I play? And the answer starts with you. What do you want to play? Keep in mind, it doesn't matter whether you're a boy or a girl, big or small, younger or older. Anyone can play any instrument. What's important is that you start right now, because if you don't, it's going to be much harder to catch up later on.
I was so bad at playing the instrument.
When I first started, I was horrible.
I thought I'd be good at it, and then I played, and then it sounded like a sick elephant.
The animal I sounded like was like a dying tiger.
I would have never thought when I started it would be this cool now.
I've only been in band for 5 weeks.
I've only been in band for 6 weeks. I chose the trombone because when I was little, I went to my dad's work and I saw this one guy playing, and I was inspired of how he could play.
What made me decide to join band was that all my friends were doing it, and I thought it'd just be a cool thing to try out.
I didn't know what instrument I wanted to play, I just wanted to be in band.
I didn't know anything about band, and my instructor told me everything I needed to know.
I didn't know anything, and my band director taught me everything.
What I love about French horn is that I get to play all the best parts.
My favorite thing about band is that all my friends are in it.
We get to play at so many concerts and festivals, and it's so much fun.
Just be part of the band.
We all play woodwind instruments, and we use our air to create a sound. Our instruments are made of either metal or wood, and sometimes we use reeds that are made out of wood to create a sound. I play the flute, which is made out of metal, and it's the highest of all the instruments, and this is what it sounds like.
In a band, flutes often sit in the front and get to play many different styles of music, from beautiful, slow, lyrical melodies like you just heard to fast, technical showpieces like this. And that's the flute.
An orchestra is a group of people playing different instruments together to create one great sound. You may start out as a beginner now, but before you know it, you'll be playing in quintets, string ensembles, and even symphony orchestras. In orchestra, there are 4 different instruments: the violin, the viola, the cello, and the bass.
In orchestra, we have a choice of 3 instruments. So I'm going to talk you through them. They are the violin, the viola, and the cello. I'll play them all for you and tell them what they're all like. You can play them plucking. But there's also this other thing in my hand. This is the bow. When you pull it across the string, it makes it vibrate like this. You can also put your fingers down to get different notes. As you can see, I'm up here with my left hand. So like I said before, the violin, the viola, and the cello are really versatile, and they can play lots of different kinds of music. They can play loud, they can play soft, they can play fast, they can play slow. The violin is the best at playing high because it's the smallest. The others are, they can also play high, just not quite as high. I'm going to play a couple tunes for you on the violin now. So here, I'm going to start with one that you're going to learn this year. This is one of our first tunes we're going to learn. Here's something that's a bit more advanced and is high and fast. So. We can also play low on the violin. Here's some Bach for you. Mistake there, but that's okay. So that's the violin. You can play high, you can play low, you can play fast, you can play slow, you can do a lot of things.
I play the clarinet. It's made out of all wood and also uses a wood reed. This is what it sounds like.
The clarinet is known for its warm, rich tone color, and it's also known for its ability to play extremely softly. So, if you play this instrument, you'll get to play some amazing music that's really fun to play. And that's the clarinet.
All right, the next instrument I've got to show you is the viola. As you can see, the viola is a lot bigger than the violin. You're going to be playing a bit lower, and that's true. So on the violin, our lowest note is this. On the viola, we get to go all the way down here. So I'm going to play a few tunes for you. So the first one here is one we're going to learn this year. Here's one that's a bit more loud and boisterous. So as you can hear, the viola can really be in your face as well. You can hear that it can play high, but not quite as high as the violin. Here we go. I love to play this one on the viola. The viola is the middle voice of the orchestra, which means that it doesn't always get the melody. It does sometimes, but not always. But you get a different kind of rich harmony that you get to experience in the middle. Playing the viola kind of feels like eating a rich piece of chocolate cake. You just get this really full feel of music. It's actually the instrument that I play. This is my primary instrument, and I love it a lot. So that's the viola.
This is the trumpet. It's the highest pitched of all the brass instruments. It has 3 valves, but with those 3 valves you can play a whole bunch of different notes.
The trumpet is known for playing bugle calls and fanfares. And also for its powerful, heroic character. And that's the trumpet.
Okay, so the last orchestra instrument I have to show you is the cello. It's a lot bigger. It's so big that I couldn't put it up on my shoulder to play, but you can still pluck it. As you can hear, it gets a really, really nice low sound. Some jaws for you. It's a big instrument, so it kind of vibrates more. You can really feel it, like when you play that low C, you can really feel that kind of vibrating your body. And it's kind of just a cool feeling when you're playing to just really get this like kind of full body experience of playing. So here's one that you're going to learn this year. It's called French folk song. So here we go, French folk song. This next one was made famous by a really famous cellist named Yo-Yo Ma. This is Bach Cello Suite No. 1, just the first few measures. So that one really lets you feel the resonance of the instrument. It's really just a great instrument. It might be a little bit heavier than the violin and viola, but it's not nearly as heavy as you would think because it's hollow. You look on the inside, it's just got little, very thin piece of wood all the way around. It's just a lot of air on the inside. So picking it up is actually really easy, really light. And the cello cases are actually designed to be really light. The ones that you'll probably be using are soft cases. They're like made of fabric that do a really good job padding, but don't add a whole lot of extra weight. And they actually even a lot of times would give you backpack straps. So when you're walking around with it, you can kind of put it on like a backpack. So it's not so hard to carry. Sometimes people are worried about that, but it's really not a huge issue with the cello. Here's another tune that's a little bit more bombastic. Yeah, so this is the cello. It's a great instrument, very versatile. It can do a lot of things. You sometimes see them in rock bands or different places, different kinds of ensembles. So the cello costs a couple extra bucks to rent. Just want to point that out and just say that if you feel really strongly about playing the cello, if you can manage to play the cello, I would really recommend that you do. It's worth the extra couple bucks a month to get this instrument. It's an excellent instrument, and I hope that a bunch of you guys choose it. So, anyway, that's the cello.
This is the trombone. What makes this instrument really unique is that instead of using valves to change the notes, it uses a slide, and that allows it to make sounds like this.
The biggest difference between the trombone and all the other instruments is the slide. Everyone else has to push some kind of button to change the pitches, while the trombone player moves the slide in and out. The trombone slide literally makes the horn longer or shorter, and you can actually see it happening. Here's a funny little tune that demonstrates the slide very well. Since brass instruments are well suited to playing loud, exciting music, I'll end with something you just might recognize. And that's the trombone.
So those are our orchestra instruments that we can choose from. Just to recap, we have the violin, which is the smallest and highest one. We have the viola, which is the middle voice, which is bigger than the violin, but you still play it up on your shoulder. And we have the cello, which is the big one that plays nice and low. I think that's basically it. Thank you so much for listening, taking your time. And I'm looking forward to getting to know some of you guys as we pick our instruments. So that's all I got. We'll see you later.